Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea and here we talk about horror movies, paranormal stories, and all whilst I do my makeup. So today we are going to be talking about my favorite shark movies. I love shark movies so much. I love sharks so much. I love the ocean so much. I love survival movies. I love it all. So we are going to do that, and we're going to do like a fun blue, green, very like oceany, watery makeup. So let's get into that. So this foundation is the LA Girl Pro Color. This is actually the foundation mixing pigment. Shake this bad boy up. I have not used this yet. This is going to be like legit white. I'm doing kind of a gothy blue makeup look. I put that right in my mouth. Alright, we are going to throw on some powder. And while we throw on some powder, our first movie is going to be the one and only Jaws. Kind of the beginner of shark movies, I feel like. If not the beginner, obviously the biggest shark movie out there. This is one of my favorite movies for so many reasons. I love that there's a killer shark. I love that there is this little coastal town. I love the sheriff. And honestly, I just love the acting and the scientists and just the whole shebang. But I literally just love this movie so much, as so many people do. It's such a classic. But one of my favorite scenes from Jaws is when the scientist is there. I really like the scientist, and I like the fisherman, I like the sheriff. I like those three guys a lot. And the scientists, they pull out a shark and they think that's like the shark, but what they're looking for is a great white shark. What they pull out is a tiger shark, and they have the tiger shark up, and the scientists like, that's not it, it's a tiger shark. And this guy is like a random fisherman, the most random character, and he looks at me, he's like, oh, what? That makes me laugh every single time, and I love it. It's just one of those wholesome scenes, a wholesome scene, like that's what that is. And then you have the classic, like, gonna need a bigger boat, that's a bad hat Harry, all the classic ones. I love that movie. It's such a comfort movie of mine. I love all the Jaws movies. I would say the first one is my absolute favorite. The third one, actually, I really like the third one. So I think it's gonna be the first, the third, the second, and then Jaws Revenge, which is the fourth one. Jaws Revenge just did not hit right for me. I don't know. It was not my favorite. Let's do some blue on this. We're doing a blue and green look, and I'm just going for it, as I always do. There are people outside. I have my window open because it gets hot as hell up here, and there are people outside just screaming. Like, I don't know. Someone might be getting murdered. I'm not really sure. The next movie I want to talk about is 47 Meters Down. If you have not seen this movie, even whether you like shark movies or not, you need to go watch this movie. I love this movie, and I love the first one. It's so good. It literally gave me so many emotions. I'm a crybaby, and so you might not cry at it, but like I did, and I just had so many emotions. Basically, it's these two girls are best friends, the first one, and sorry, I'm trying to concentrate as I'm talking about these. It's these two girls, they go on vacation to Mexico, and the one girl wants to go down like in the cage with the sharks, whatever. So, well, not in the cage with the sharks, but in a cage in shark-infested waters. And so the other girl, like, no, I don't want to go, like, that's scary, like, I don't want to die, and she's like, you're not going to die, everyone does this all the time, it's fine, yada, yada, yada. So they find this charter that will, like, take them, excuse me, the charter is pretty sketch, like, it's, like, pretty sus, and they go on it, and then they quickly regret it, and that's all I can tell you, and you have to watch it. It's so freaking good. Like, honestly, it's really good movie. And again, pretty much every shark movie I feel like is like a movie about survival, and this is no different. It's very much like a survival type movie, and I really, really liked it. Now, the second one is a little bit different. The second one, in my opinion, well, they're very different. Even though they're both about sharks and they're like 1 and 2, they're very different aspects, and I really enjoyed both of them for like different reasons. So the first one is much more of like survival based, like instincts, and the second one is much more about like sisters coming together. So the second one is a family. There's like stepsisters. You know, the one is like popular and cool. The other one's like a loser. Is she really a loser? No, but like in the movie, you know, she's like not as cool as the older one or whatever. And so they all go to, I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but basically, I mean, obviously they get in the water where there's sharks, but where they go is they don't go like down in the cage like how a lot of them do, where they're like on some kind of vacation or something. They just happened, I think they live in Australia. I think they moved to Australia, and they were going down, and so Australia obviously is surrounded by water. Everyone there is like real cool in the water, always in the water, da-da-da. They like ditch school or something to go do something underwater, and then their dad, the one girl's dad, the other one's, you know, is her stepdad. He works like, he's like a underwater welder, something like that, and he's like a historian, this whole thing, and basically that comes into play like later on in the movie. And so these girls go down into this water, and that's where they start to kind of like run into sharks and all these situations and these problems, but it becomes much more of like a sisterly thing, and I mean, you're still trying to survive, you know, the shark and stuff, but it has a different vibe, it has a different feel, so I like that. It's not just the same thing like recycled, in my opinion. So once you watch the rest of this video, or if you have one now, let me know down in the comments what your favorite shark movie is, because I'm really curious, especially if it's not on this list. I mean, not that this is like, you know, the ultimate shark movie list. These are just some of my favorites. Next movie is The Reef. Now this, I believe, is an Australian movie from 2010. And again, it is a shark movie, obviously. There are four friends, I think 4 friends and an instructor, or like a person that drives a boat, whatever, it's his boat. And they are on like kind of a vacation, and they go out to go scuba diving. And where they go scuba diving is like in a different area than most people go, for whatever reason. Well, they're gonna figure out why. And as they're coming back in, like this is just like the very beginning, like basically something happens to their boat and it is capsized, yes. And so now they're screwed, and no one knows that they're out there for whatever reason. I feel like you have to tell someone that you're out like somewhere, or at least you should, I'm not really sure. But they have no way to get a hold of anyone, like the boat's capsized, it's a whole situation. So basically they have 2 choices. They can stay on the boat and hope someone comes by in time for them to like wave them down for help, or they can test their luck and try to swim to this island that they can see out in the distance and they know is there. So that's kind of like what they do. Some people swim, some people don't swim, some people stay on the boat, and it just kind of watches like what happens with these people. And it's really crazy because a couple of the people like aren't very strong swimmers, and it's like, I mean, not that you have to be a super strong swimmer to like be out in the water, and at some point, I mean, you know, if you go down in the middle of the ocean, like no matter how strong of a swimmer you are, like those waves and the animals and creatures, whatever, like will kill you, unfortunately. But yeah, these people, some of them cannot swim very well at all, and it's like, why are you in the situation? Like, you should have taken swimming classes before you came out here. You would not be in the situation if you did. Alright, so we're gonna go with kind of a dark green color right here. Oh, I like this brush. So soft too. It's so soft, and it's almost like, it's like soft, but it's like pointed enough where it just makes like a nice little like line kind of for you, but blended out. I really enjoy this. I would say The Reef though, it has much more of like a simple, I don't know, I feel like there's kind of a category here where like some of them have more of a story than others. So like Jaws, I feel like 1 and 3 have much more of a story. 47 Meters Down Part 2 has much more of a story going on than just basically the cat and mouse chase. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'll kind of tell you as we go through these, like which ones have more of a story and then which ones are kind of just like the cat and mouse chase. Not saying they're not good. I still really enjoy them. They're still good to like watch, but you know what I'm talking about when I talk about that, right? Like some of them, it has a lot more going on with it than just someone out in the water and a shark's chasing them. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Okay, next shark movie is Shark Night. Now this movie it's about sharks, but it has a little more substance. I don't remember which side was the substance side. I think it was this side. It has a little more substance to it, a little bit more of a story to it, and it's really different from the rest. I think it's not just survival. It's not just nature. That's all I want to say. So there's a group of friends or like college students. I think they're on like their break or whatever, and they go to this girl's parents. It's like her hometown where she like grew up and where she's from, and it's her parents' like lake house or whatever. So they go to the lake house. She knows everyone in town for the most part. Like everyone's like, oh hey, whatever your name is, like so happy to have you back. Da da da. She runs into a couple old friends, you know, whatever, and it turns into a whole thing, and pretty quickly it becomes Shark Night, and things kind of just go real crazy. Like it goes places that you don't expect, or at least I didn't expect, which I love not being able to predict things, because I watch a lot of movies and TVs. I watch a lot of TVs. I watch a lot of movies and TV shows where sometimes it's easy for me to predict certain things about movies and stuff, which I'm sure a lot of people it is, especially when so many follow the same tropes and everything else. But this one, I really actually didn't see some of that stuff coming, so I really enjoyed that. Are we liking this look? Because I'm liking it, and I'm glad I took the way all the way down, because it really looks way better, in my opinion. Okay, let's add some really light blue. Same thing, it's the same color we put on like the very outside of our eyebrows. The next one I have on here is a little bit more of an action film, but it's The Meg. Now, The Meg, I will be honest with you, I felt like they could have done more with the shark. But I feel like it was like a big production, and they had pretty big name actors on it and actresses. So I think it was more geared toward, because it's more of an action horror film. So it was more geared toward the actors and actresses in it, and less really geared toward like the monster, the shark, whatever. Which, I mean, I get it, but I was more here for the shark. I was here more for the horror part and less for the action part, which I like action movies too, but that was just my 2 cents. Like, I really thought they could have done more with the shark. It could have had more crazy things. Like, I feel like the trailer basically had all of like the good shark moments in it, and that really made me sad. I hate when that happens in movies. But The Meg, it's really good. It has Jason Statham, Ruby Rose, Lee Bing, Rainn Wilson, Jessica McNamee. I don't know. The biggest person in there for me is Rainn Wilson, because The Office, House of a Thousand Corpses, like, come on. And then you have Jason Statham, and then of course Ruby Rose, like, hi, like, ugh, love her so much. But yeah, I mean, the movie is, I mean, it's a really good movie. Like, I really liked it, but I don't know, I'm just, like, I'm a fan of these movies. Like, I enjoy them, but it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, it was a big production, it has good actors and actresses on it. Like, yeah, it's a good movie. You know what I mean? I think I've talked about this before. It's kind of one of those things, like, I mean, not saying that every movie like that is a good movie, but for the most part, when you have a big production like that and you spend all this money, like, being good is expected, you know? I like when movies have like low budgets and no name people and are really good, because you're like, where did that come from, you know? I think there's talks of a Big Meg, the Meg 2. Like, I think there's supposed to be a second one. And I kind of hope there is, and I kind of hope they care more about the megalodon. Like, I love the idea of a megalodon, of a shark bigger than a great white, like, and just some of the, like, photos, like, I'll put in here, whatever, of, like, the cover of the movie, and some of, like, the like, not that it was from the trailer, but just some of these different, like, posters or whatever you want to call them for this movie is, like, just insane and terrifying. And obviously I love horror movies. Like, I love just being terrified, and the fact that there's just, like, that you could be swallowed up like a tiny little fish. You know what I mean? Like, there is a shark that was, or is, whatever, so big that it could just swallow you, like we are taking just like a little pill. Like, we're taking an Advil. Like, that's what you are, literally to the size of an Advil to this animal, is insane to me. Okay, this one I just watched today. This one is called The Shallows. Very good movie. This one is a little less story, a lot more survival. Still very good though. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Basically this lady, I think again she's in Australia. I'm not 100% sure. But this lady, she is a surfer, and she's going to this place where, like, her mom surfed, and she wants to go her mom way, you know? It's one of those things. And while she was there, basically it even says, like, on the movie thing, that she gets stuck on a rock. So she gets stuck out there because there is a man-eating shark out in the water. And it's just this whole story of basically her trying to survive out here in the water with this shark trying to eat her. There's a couple parts that just annoyed me. Like, there was one specific part with this one specific character, if you watch it, he's drunk and he's so stupid and it drives me nuts. It's just the dumbest, like, situation. Like, to a point I understood it. I'm like, okay, whatever, this guy's drunk, whatever. But then, like, it just kind of got stupid where, I mean, definitely watch it, but basically he, like, paddles out to, like, I don't know, he's not really trying to help her or whatever. He's just paddling out in the water. It's the middle of the night. He's drunk. It's just stupid. And I'm like, what is the point? But it was just basically to give the shark another person to kill, honestly. Yeah, so definitely go check that out. Like I said, it's more of a survival movie. Very good. The actress does a great job, and we really like her. My last movie is actually not really a horror movie, but it's just a shark movie that I really love. And there's not too many not horror movie shark movies that I love. Like I said, the Meg I think of more as like an action movie. The rest of these have been horror movies or like survival movies. But this one is Soul Surfer. If you haven't seen that, you need to watch that movie. It's so good. It's not really a horror movie, but it is a survival movie. And it's just kind of like a coming of age, like, kind of overcoming. I mean, it's just so much, like, it's just an overcoming movie is what it is. When I was making my list for this, Soul Surfer kept coming up because you're just like, I just type in, like, well, I type in shark horror movies, but I guess, again, it's like a survival, like, she's attacked. Like, I guess if someone wanted to, they could technically say it was horrifying. I wouldn't call it a horror movie, but it's horrifying. I mean, at the idea of what's happening. So I get it in that aspect, I guess. But it always comes up, and I wanted to put it on my list because I actually really like that movie. It's really good. It's very Disney-ish for the most part. Other than the attack might not be very Disney-ish. I don't really remember. I haven't seen it in a while, but I really enjoy the movie. And I'd recommend. Highly recommend. So, let's do some highlight. I actually have this below freezing blue highlighter and a little bit of Alaska Nice. Oh gosh, so much. Oh, so much. I'm gonna throw in some lipstick too, hunties. Alright. And you know what? And before I leave this, before we get off this video here, I'm gonna give you some shark facts. I'm gonna hit you up with some shark facts that I found today. I love sharks. I'm obsessed with sharks. No, I'm not really obsessed. I just really like them. I feel like an actual mermaid right now. Not gonna lie. Well, your first shark fact of the day. Did you know that sharks do not have any bones? So when they die, they just basically are left with like nothing except for their teeth. Their teeth are the only thing that's still there. Isn't that weird? They're like basically very kind of good for the environment. They just kind of dissolve into nothing, and I thought that was very interesting. I did not know that. I really like this. This is a Revolution Alexis Stone Instinct palette, and I really like it. It has all kinds of colors. Well, it has all kinds of shades of different colors, I should say. I really like this. I've only used it a couple times thus far, but I've only done my makeup a couple times thus far, so. There we go. I needed something underneath the eye. I'm gonna throw in some eyeliner too. I kind of forgot about it. Has anyone watched any of the Sharknado movies? I tried to, but I just could not get into them. I mean, I don't know. I literally know almost nothing about them. All I know is Sharknado sounds like kind of ridiculous. But I don't like to knock a movie before I try it, for the most part. So, I just need to check it out. We have our NYX Epic Wear waterproof black eyeliner. This stuff is literally amazing. Well, I haven't used the black yet. The white is amazing. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how long this stuff lasts and how it really is waterproof. Makeup remover proof sometimes to a point. Alright, I'm just gonna do like a cute little thing here. Your next fun fact is that great white sharks can jump up to 10 feet in the air, and they can actually move as fast as 30 to 40 miles per hour in short bursts to like catch prey or to just move throughout the ocean, I guess. And that's pretty terrifying. Third fact about sharks, kind of a fun fact, is the largest shark is a whale shark, and it can be up to 46 feet long. Let me double check that. Yes, 46 feet long, which is the same size as a school bus. That's insane. But they usually eat like krill and kind of like the same type of food that like whales would eat, which is kind of funny. It's like these giant animals, but they eat like these little tiny things, and they just like suck up like whatever's kind of in their way. Like they're like a vacuum basically. Okay, now we're gonna do this Tiffany's blue. I'm here for it. I'm living for it. Let's see what else we got here. Sharks have a very, very cute sense of smell. Some sharks can detect blood at 1 part per million. That's equivalent to 1 drop. That's crazy. So shark attacks really aren't like that common. I mean, they happen every so often, like so many a year, but they aren't that common. This actually says that, so this says over 17,000 people die from falls each year. That's a 1 in 218 chance over your lifetime, compared to a 1 in 3,700,000 chance of being killed by a shark. So you're more likely to fall and die than actually be attacked by a shark and killed by a shark. I wanted to point that out because I do feel like some of these movies kind of bring a bad light onto animals, onto sharks, make people more afraid of them. Like, obviously, yes, if you were out in the ocean, you are in their habitat, their home, they could potentially attack you or bite you. And actually, I also read that, okay, this is kind of getting to my nerdy phase of just like I love sharks. They actually say that sharks don't really like eating humans. Like, their main prey are actually like fish, like shiny fish. And a lot of the times we're just kind of opportunistic, like we happen to be in the water, they happen to be close up to the shore, or as close as, you know, we are out, whatever. And most of the time they come up and they actually just bite us just to see if we are like a good substance or whatever for food, and they quickly can tell that we are too much bone and muscle and whatever else, and they leave. So that's why a lot of people that are not antagonizing sharks are bit and might lose a limb or just be injured and survive from it, because a lot of time the shark is just, you're there, they're hungry, they don't know what you are, they are trying you out, you aren't what their type of, you know, meal. They're like, no thank you, but now you've been bitten. And then they just leave and go on to find some fish, which are their actual, like, the meal, like what they're actually wanting, what they're actually looking for, because people, again, we have too many bones and just too much stuff that they don't want. They just want little fish, but we just happen to be out there. So I don't know, like, I feel like we should never blame the shark. I mean, we are literally in their habitat. Like, obviously these things are gonna happen once in a while. And that concludes our makeup look. After I put my mascara on, I threw in some earrings. I love how this came out, like, a lot, like a lot. Now I'm gonna go make TikToks. Before you go, please let me know your favorite shark movie of all of these. Throw me some shark facts if you have one. You can Google it, whatever. Maybe you just know something off the top of your head, something wild, something crazy. Just comment down below anything, because I love talking to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I try to post every weekend. And I make TikToks. Go follow me on my TikTok. Really, if you go to my Instagram, Chelsie Wrath, it has all of my links to all my things, and on Twitter. So go check me out over there. I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.